I hope you guys are doing good today.
So, good evening, everybody. How are you all doing today?
Let us wait for a few. Let us wait for a few more people to join. Then we'll start. So the reason why we are here is that Snap is approaching, as we all know. So tell me, how are you guys doing? How's the preparation going? And we are here to address all your queries. So just stay tuned.
Folks would love to hear about your day and from where all of you are joining. Just comment your city. Great, I see people joining from Pune. People are also joining from Andhra Pradesh. That's good. Hyderabad, Udaipur. Also, folks, we know that this must be a very hard time for you. Thank you so much for taking out time from your busy schedule. We all know CAT is approaching, SNAP is approaching. You all must be busy preparing for your exams. People are also joining from Mumbai, MP, Kerala. That's great. That's great.
Okay, so I see someone saying that they got low mock scores. Don't worry, it's fine. That's not a big issue. We are here and we'll address all your queries. Just stay tuned.
We'll be answering all of your questions, guys. Like suggest good mock series. We'll be telling how to go about your mock strategies, which mocks are good for you, how should you go about for the strategy. We'll be talking about everything in this Q&A session.
Okay, so let's start this session. So let's start with our introductions. I am Tanuj Gupta. I come from the city of Kanpur. I have done my graduation in political science from Aryabhat College, Delhi University. Post that, I also prepared for UPSC for a while, and then I have been working in sales for the past 30 months. Now I am here in SIBM Pune, specializing in marketing. Over to you, Tamanna.
Hi everyone, my name is Tamanna. I come from Delhi. I am currently pushing marketing in SIBM Pune. I'm a fresher, as you all can see, and I have done two internships, one of 6 months and one of 2 months. So I'll be here answering all of your questions shortly.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Anant Goswami. I'm from Chennai. I did my BTech and MTech in biotechnology from IIT Madras, post which I worked for a public sector bank for 2 years and 2 months, and after which I joined SIPM Pune to do my MBA. And I'm really glad and grateful to be here.
Okay, so let's start with the session. So SIBM Pune, as you all know, is SIU's flagship institute with a 40-year-old legacy. It is ranked 11th in the NIRF 2025 rankings. It is a completely student-driven college. We have lots and lots of councils. We have rigorous academics, and apart from that, we also take part in prestigious case competitions. We have many winners from that. We also have a very strong alumni network who are actively involved with us. They are all mostly here to guide us. And Anand would like to add to that.
Sure, Tanuj. So, like Tanuj just said, SIBM Pune is a legacy institution. It's been around for 48 years. It was founded in 1978, and today it ranks very highly amongst the list of MBA colleges, top MBA colleges in India. In fact, recently in the NIRF 2025 ranking, it secured the 11th position, which only underscores its fine, and privileged credentials. So we are all very lucky and very fortunate to be here. And what we are even more excited about is to answer your queries and answer your questions about our life here, about Snap, about the entire journey from being an aspirant to getting to our SIBM Pune.
I would also like to add on that let me just tell you guys that SIBM Pune is what we all have dreamed of. That is what I realized after coming to SIBM Pune. So I would say just keep preparing hard for it, and you'll be able to ace it. And just wait for the good times to come. There's also something exciting for all of you. We are coming with the 20th edition of Coffee with SIBM. We do it every year. We would be coming to your city. That is the surprise element. We may or we may not come to your city, but I would highly recommend you to stay tuned on all of our social media handles, be it Instagram, our Telegram channels, and our LinkedIn as well. We would be updating all the information there. So stay tuned for that. In this session, you will be getting the opportunity to interact with us directly. We'll be coming to your city, and we will also have fun quizzes related to Snap. You will also get Snap questions, which will be closely related to the Snap pattern, which is there. So it's a great opportunity to interact with us and get all your doubts cleared before Snap. And we're looking forward to see you here.
Thank you, Tamanna. So let's start taking the questions.
So Venu Madhav has asked that what's the guide for the verbal section in Snap? So, Vinu, the guide for the verbal section in Snap is that you have to first identify and assess what all areas of the verbal section you're strong at and what areas of the verbal section you're weak at. So, the verbal section consists of sentence and parajumbles, there's idioms and phrases, there's usage of modifiers, prepositions, and tenses. So there's a mix of what you could say as fill in the blanks, sentence and parajumbles, and also there's a grammar element to it. Now, the way to go about it is to practice, and I would say even before practice, make sure that you're reading daily. Although, of course, now there isn't a lot of time left for the actual exam, there's 20, 25 days only left. At this point, I would recommend that please practice as extensively as you can. Please brush up your grammar, brush up your idioms as extensively as you can. That will really take you a long way. So that is my answer. That is our response to you.
All right, so I see Rajiv asking about the batch diversity in SIBM Pune. So, Rajiv, I would like to tell you that the batch diversity in SIBM Pune is very huge. Like, if you talk about the specializations, then I know you have written that you have done BSc in microbiology. That's not something that you need to worry about. I would say that I have had friends here who are like doing have had the similar backgrounds. We have people from various backgrounds. We have engineers, we have lawyers, we have dentists, we have people from all backgrounds. And about the fresher part that you're asking, don't worry about that too. We have a very healthy mix of freshers as well as people with work experience. So if you check our SIP report, you'll get to know that in my batch, there's 35% freshers as well as 65% people with work experience. Even out of those 65%, 10% are who have work experience like between like 0 to 11 months, 12 months. So the best, don't worry about that. Just prepare your best for SNAP. Just prepare your best for GPI. And this isn't going to become a hurdle. Being a fresher is not a disadvantage. My colleague here, Tamanna, is also a fresher, and she's here sitting with me, obviously, in this session. So you can obviously ask her about it.
Okay, so I see Sri Hari Rajeshwar asking that you are not yet started taking mocks for SNAP, but it's preparation, but it's preparing for CAT work for SNAP also. So I would say that yes, preparing for CAT right now would help you prepare your basics, help prepare the topics, but you need to prepare differently for SNAP as well because there are some topics which come specifically for SNAP only, and there's also a bit different level of difficulty followed in both the exams respectively. So I would say if you haven't started taking snap mocks yet, I would suggest to start taking some time out of your cat preparation to also give snap mocks. I know you guys must be exhausted with the cat mocks right now, but I would highly recommend giving at least one mock per day right now, as and when cat is approaching. As soon as you're done with cat exam, I would say start giving 2 to 3 mocks per day for snap in order to understand where exactly you're lacking with your preparation, how well you're able to adjust from cat exam to snap exam, because it's a 60 minutes exam. You need to work on your speed along with your accuracy. So I would say that start giving mocks right now, but as soon as cat is finished, start giving 2 to 3 mocks per day as soon as your first attempt for cat snap approaches. And be thorough with the syllabus, because there is also different syllabus for snap. You need to be thorough with the syllabus, that if there is any changes from with the last year's syllabus or not. So yeah, I would say that please don't wait for any last minute preparation. Go about for snap mocks right now.
So the next question is by Sairaj, who's asking how much time should be devoted for each section while preparing for CAT simultaneously. So, Sairaj, this there's no one size fits all answer for this. The question is you have to understand where your strengths and weaknesses lie, not just about cat or snap, but within cat there are three sections, of course, that you're all aware of, and within snap there are the three sections. So you need to understand which of these sections requires how much attention, how much of your effort and hard work needs to go towards these sections. The exact time split is not something that I would like to recommend to you because it varies from person to person. But it is up to you to understand that at this point, which is November 16th, so there are 2 weeks to cat and then another 6 days to snap. So these are the time constraints before you. And you have to now understand how you will utilize this time given your strengths and given your weaknesses. So this question, the answer varies from person to person. The way to go about it is we can provide you a structure. It is to first analyze what sections you're good at, what sections you're not so good at, and then accordingly work on those. And there's also a lot of overlap between CAD prep and Snap prep. So you'll also are looking at those synergies and see how they feed in and how they help you with this particular problem. So thank you.
Okay, so I see Sunny asking about the academics. Like I see you have academics 6, 6, 7, and you're asking whether you should register for SNAP and how much percentile is required to convert SIBM. So first, I would like to address the latter part of the question. There is no fixed percentile that is actually required for SIBM Pune. It changes year on year, depends on the difficulty of the paper. If it's a very tough paper, then obviously the required percentile might go down, required score might go down. If it's an easy paper, the cutoff might go very high. So my advice to you would be aim for the highest percentile that you can. That would be the best way to at least guarantee a call for the GEPI. Now about the profile, I would say don't worry about your profile. What's done is done. You should actually focus on what you can actually do right now, which is prepare well for Snap, score as high as you can, and if you clear the cutoff, you will get a call for the GPI. Then your next concern should be to perform your best in the GPI process. The admissions in SIBM actually work. How? Let me tell you how it works. The 50% weightage is given to actually the Snap exam, the score that you attain, and the remaining 50% is your GPI process. So if you work hard, you can crack SIBM. Your academics, your profile is just a small part of the entire process. So don't worry about it. Just aim for as high as a percentile as you can, and you will be able to crack SIBM.
So the next question, Allison is asking, how much were you guys scoring in Snap marks during your prep? I'm scoring on an average 36 marks. How do I push it to 45 marks? So, Alison, we all began somewhere, and as we progressively got better and better at Snap, and with our MBA exam preparation in general, we started scoring higher and higher. This will happen with everybody, but there is another aspect to it, which is your scores will fluctuate. So, as you're saying, you're scoring 36. I'm sure it's not just 36, which is static. It's 36, and it's fluctuating, right? So given this scenario, given this reality that you're faced with, that your score may or may not be 36, and it might keep fluctuating up and down, it's best that you also buy this all three snap attempts, purchase all three snap attempts, do give them, because doing that reduces the chances that you could be giving snap on an off day. Off days can happen, and the reason why we advise you to go for three attempts is to mitigate those off days. Now, coming to pushing it to 45 marks, you have to be very aggressive with your analysis post your mocks. So you can't sugarcoat anything for yourself. You cannot delude yourself into thinking, oh well, I think I'm good at quantitative. So even though the mock score or the mock analysis is telling me that a particular section of quantitative, say algebra, I'm weak at algebra. Say some particular section in algebra, say quadratic equations. I'm weak in the mock analysis is telling you that you're weak in quadratic equations. But if you don't pay attention to it, if you don't embrace that weakness, then that becomes a blind spot. So this was a specific example, but you understand what we are trying to get to. So you have to be very ruthless while analyzing your marks, and accordingly, improve your strategy.
I would just like to add one point on that. That definitely during this time, even I was, stuck at the score of 35, 36, 37, and it's kind of difficult to, get past that. And that's the real game changer, I would say, because by this time you would be very good at your strongest points, but that's what you have to look for. That even if you're scoring good, even if your general English is good and LR is good, how much time are you taking to solve that right question also? And after that, what are the questions which you're not able to attempt, what are the questions which you did attempt it, but how much time you're taking to attempt that questions, and then move on to the for example, for me, my quants was a little my quants was weak. So I used to go about and analyze which questions I'm missing. Is there any question in quants, in quantitative DI and data sufficiency, which I'm missing, which was easy, which I could have attempted, but I did not attempt. So that is how I used to go about it in every mock. And please do not leave, giving mocks, because even if your scores are stuck, do not leave giving mocks, because you won't even realize which mock is the one that is, helping you get past that, mock stucking time. So do not stop giving mocks, keep giving mocks, and you will be able to improve eventually. That is for sure.
Okay, so I see Kiddo asking why should he choose Snap over many other MBA entrance exams? Okay, so I would like to tell you that Snap, as my colleague mentioned, is a student-friendly exam. It gives you three attempts. There's no other exam that gives you three attempts for the same exam to get into one of the best MBA colleges of the country. And also, as you know, there is no sectional cutoff. So this is an exam where you can actually play to your strengths. You can leverage your strengths, even if you suppose if you're not good at quants. So you don't need to like clear a specific sectional cutoff for quants. If you're good at analytical and logical reasoning, and if you're good at verbal ability, then that also gives you a good chance to score very high and get the call for GPI. So this is what Snap makes. This is what makes Snap actually a very student-friendly exam. Also, Snap opens the door to so many good MBA colleges for you, especially SIBM Pune, which is the flagship institute. And suppose if you give any other exam for MBA, then you'll have to wait another year for to attempt the same exam again. Whereas Snap actually helps you to, you know, crack the exam. It gives you three attempts. If one attempt doesn't go as planned, you can try it for another time. You can do it again. You can give the second attempt, third attempt. Maybe your that day when you gave your second or third attempt, maybe that day you slept better. Maybe your mental health was right, and that helped you score better. So I would suggest that fill Snap, go for all three attempts, give your best shot, and trust me, you won't even realize it when you made it to the one of the best B schools of the country.
And coming back to one of our the flagship event that which we have, which is Coffee with SIBM. So what happens here is this is your rare chance to interact with students from SIBM in flesh, in person. And what that does is that you can really go through all the difficulties that you might be facing in your Snap strategy. And we have Kahoot quizzes, and the questions that we ask in these quizzes are the closest that you can get to a Snap question. So there's added incentive for you to visit this event. We are coming to 12 cities, all major cities, and we'll soon let you know what cities they are. Please keep posted. Please keep tuned into our Instagram page. So Coffee with SIBM is not just about meeting students from SIBM. Of course, you'll be hearing about our stories and how great life at SIBM Pune really is. But from an aspirant perspective, what you can really get, like I had said earlier, is that you can really run through your strategies with people who have been there, who have done that, and you can figure out at the last moment or that last tweak, last 11th hour tweak, that can really make the difference in your scores or in your exam day strategy.
Guys, I see a lot of questions regarding, Snap strategies and which, which section to score. I would say that you need to attend this session. All of these questions will be answered in Coffee with SIBM. Do not miss this session, as this will be one of your rarest chance, as my colleague mentioned here, to get to interact with all of us directly and get your doubts cleared. And even just after CAT, I would say that it's a great opportunity. So I would recommend you to like hold on to your horses and please wait for the session.
Okay, so I see a question from Tanvi. Like, if I start today, will I be able to clear Snap? I am targeting top two colleges only, and I filled all three slots and chose five programs. Please guide. So, Tanvi, I'm hoping that you must have prepared for CAT. You must have got the basics correct. Because if you have got your basics correct, then I think this you have ample amount of time to, just ace the Snap exam. Because if you have cleared the basics, you should do is focus on mocks, take as many mocks as you can, analyze the mocks, prepare your strategy. Because what I would tell you is that mocks actually help you a lot in this preparation. Snap is a speed based exam. It actually prioritizes speed and accuracy. So when you try out different strategies in mocks, like when you try out different orders, which sections to attempt first, which sections to attempt at the last, so that actually gives you a fair idea, like what is actually working out for you. And that is something that will help you actually in the exam day. Also, I would add one more thing, that suppose there are questions that you get right, you can actually work on that too. You can save up some time there also. Like if there's a question that you got right but it took you like 1.5 minutes to solve that, and if you can figure out how to solve this exact same question in 40 seconds, 50 seconds, that actually helps you, save a good enough amount of time that you can attempt another question that. And since I told you, that can actually help you in your score, because the snap values accuracy, speed, as well as smart choice. There are questions that might actually take 2 minutes to solve. You should know how to figure out which are those questions, and you should know how to skip them, when to skip them, save up how much time you can save on. So I would like to advise you, just take as many mocks as possible, analyze them, understand your mistakes, and improve, because you have ample amount of time, you can do well.
I see Shri Charan asking that have I faced any challenges being a fresher in SIBM Pune? And to be honest, folks, I have not faced any challenge. I feel that it is one of my strongest pursuit, and I take it as my strength that I'm a fresher here among work experienced people, and I bring a different kind of value set, a different kind of discussion to the table. And as far as my profile is considered, I did two internships. If you have time, even after Snap, before your GPIs, if you can do it, I would suggest do some internships before your official process starts. Even if you do not have time, you do not need to worry anything about your profile. After coming to SIBM Pune, you get plenty of time to participate in a lot of case competitions, enhance your profile, and learn from the classroom learnings which we have here. So I am a fresher. I come from an economics background. So I take it as my, one of the strongest pursuit, that my concepts of economics, statistics, and core management are very fresh. So I often help with the structural problem, apply frameworks, and bring data into the discussions. So I definitely take it as one of my strengths rather than a challenge. So you need not have worry anything about you being a fresher. We have a lot of freshers here. We have people from diverse background, engineers, non-engineers. So I would say just focus on your mocks right now, and performing your best on the D-Day rather than your profile.
So Real is asking, will that would they be able to meet us through Coffee with SIPM? Yes, Real, you'll be meeting us. You'll be meeting us. We are members of the Aspirant Relations team at SIBM Pune. So you'll be meeting us at the event, and you'll be getting to interact with us. You'll be asking us questions about your Snap Prep, about our lives at SIBM Pune. and we'll have a very productive conversation over coffee, and which will make for a very fun evening. So yes, Real, you will be definitely meeting us, and in fact, the links to our socials have been shared on chat, so you may please go through them. If they haven't been shared, we'll be sharing them very soon. And in the meanwhile, I would also request all of you, please scan the QR code on the screen, and you can directly register for the event.
Karan, I would just want to clarify that yes, you need to submit differently for SNAP and SIBM. So for SNAP, the last date for registration is 20th November, and for SIBM Pune, the last date for registration is 5th December. So please don't miss out on both of these deadlines, and make sure that you fill all both the deadlines and fill for SIBM Pune and SNAP as well.
Okay, so I see Tanisha asking how to prepare for quants. Tanisha, I agree that quantitative data interpretation and data sufficiency is a section in Snap where a lot of people face problems in. Like many people, most of the people I have met, most aspirants, ask the same question, like how to prepare for quants. What I would like to tell you is if you are not very good at quants, then that is not an issue. You should focus on the basics first. There are like a good chunk of the quantitative section is arithmetic. So you should like focus on arithmetic basics, all the different types of questions that you can do. Then you can shift your focus to geometry and algebra also, modern maths. But I would say is if you are good at quants, you should try to leverage this section. If you aren't good at this, don't leave it completely. Focus on basics. Try to do as many questions as you can, practice as many questions as you can, figure out quick ways to do these questions. That's very important. And eventually you'll see yourself score good in quants. Even if you're not good, I would say like 8 to 10 questions out of the 20 questions are manageable if you have like done your homework, if you have done the basics and you have practiced enough. So don't worry, just prepare well, give it your best, and also don't forget, you can get these tips, even better tips and secret tips that we followed by visiting us at Coffee with SIBM. So stay tuned to our social media channels and you'll get all the details very soon.
Hi Vanshika, I see that this is your last minute preparation, like decision to register for SNAP, and you do not need to have worry like a little bit about anything about how you should go about SNAP. I would say that keep preparing for CAT as well and keep preparing for SNAP as well, no matter how your mocks are going right now. But I would want to say that first of all, please register for Coffee with SIBM, register for SNAP, and register for all the three attempts to maximize your score. Since I'm assuming that you've taken this as a last decision, you should start with the mocks for SNAP. Go through the official mocks, get to know about the pattern, get to know about how is the exam. It's a 60-minute exam. There are three sections. There is no sectional limit, so you can, change your strategy however way you want, unlike cat. So I would say that go about with the snap mocks, try to understand the pattern, try to understand the interface, and try to build your strategy around it, that how you want to go it, if you want to go through general English, if you want to go through analytical and logical reasoning, or if you want to go through quantitative DI and data sufficiency. And make a also I would suggest that start making a revision notebook for all of your quantitative chapters, whatever you might have made. So you don't have to worry anything about, even if it is your last decision. I would say that just start taking mocks and start getting used to the pattern, and don't stop giving mocks. Slowly and gradually you will start getting used to it, and you will start scoring it.
And just to add on to Tamanna's points that she made, which were very valid and very insightful. Vanshika and also Ashish, I think you both have very similar questions. So Ashish also asked, what strategy should we use before or building up to the last 30 days of snap test. And just to add on to what Tamanna said, you also have to give a lot of attention to mocks, and you have to now decide between learning and practicing analyzing your mock. So now the days of purely learning, just sitting and going through one concept after another, now those days are over. You have to now focus a lot on execution. So it's not just learning new concepts now, it's not just learning, it's also equally important to see how well you're executing them. So your daily schedule for the last 30 days should be 50-50 split between preparing, learning, and executing and finding out where you're lacking, what your weaknesses are. In fact, I would recommend that you keep a logbook for each section and keep noting down what kind of mistakes you're making, how often you're making, and try to learn from those mistakes. So that would be just a little tiny bit of information that I wanted to add on to Tamanna's excellent answer.
Okay, I see a question. Will 777 profile give issue in SIP and final placements? So I would like to advise you that this is a question for later. You shouldn't think about that and waste time in that, because a lot of people I meet, a lot of people who actually contact me, they are worried about their profile. Is my profile good enough? Whether I'll be able to get admission to SIBM Pune with this kind of profile? My ACADS are low. I don't have any work experience. These kinds of doubts, I would say, are for later. For now, if you don't score well in SNAP exam, then these questions wouldn't even matter. So first, I would advise you is focus on your preparation, prepare well, give your best across all three attempts, score as high as you can. Once you get the GPI call letter, then you should think about these questions. Just to give you a gist, no, profile wouldn't give you that much of an issue unless you perform as well as you can in your place in your GPI process. Also, if I talk about the final placements and the SRP, you can go through the SRP report as well as the CRP report that are available on LinkedIn. And yes.
So we have another question by Real, who's asking or saying, I'm currently not confident about my CAT prep level. Should I simply focus on SNAP? I'm positive about being able to prepare with all my might. Real, while we appreciate that you're being a little pragmatic about it, I would also say that you shouldn't drop your CAT preparation as well, because the reason is psychological. If you give up on CAT, that will somehow also affect your SNAP prep. So you could be working very hard during the day for SNAP, but psychologically there could still be this notion in the back of your mind that I quit, or that I gave up on my CAT prep, and that can hinder your confidence. So that's not something we would recommend you do. Please focus on CAT, give it your best, but at the same time also prepare for SNAP. It sounds a little paradoxical, but preparing for both the exams will actually make you a lot more agile and stronger for each of them than just giving up on one and then trying to put all your eggs in the other basket. We wouldn't recommend you do that.
Okay, so to answer Sairaj's questions, he's asking that how many questions should one attempt for each section to minimize the negative marking, which is there in Snap. So I would say that, from my personal experience, it is very subjective to each and every one, considering what your strongest points are, what your strongest section is, what your weakest section is. So considering mine was general English, like that was my strongest section. So I used to finish my general English in about 7 minutes, 6 to 7 minutes maximum. And I also used to complete logical, analytical, and logical reasoning. I used to like do all the questions maximum. Minimum I used to do, yeah, like 22 to 20 23 questions with accuracy. Then I used to move on to quantitative DI and data sufficiency, considering that it was a little weak than the previous sections. So I used to attempt minimum of 10 to 12 questions for quantitative DI and data sufficiency, so as to give the maximum hike to my score which I'm getting right now. So I would say that minimum questions for general English, you should go about all the questions carefully and with accuracy. For analytical and logical reasoning as well, you should go about all the questions, again considering your strongest and weakest sections. But for quants also, if it is your strongest, I would say attempt the maximum. but 10 to 12 is also good enough.
Okay, so I see a question from Karanam Prajwal. Hi, sir. I can't see any website where I can apply for SIBM Pune separately. Karan, Snap form, when you fill the Snap form, after that, there is a process to apply for different colleges and different programs separately. There, you can go to that portal, apply for SIBM Pune MBA core program as well as the MBA INE program. You will find the separate, you have to select the separate programs of each college separately. So you will find that, and the registration deadline ends on 5th December. So you can go and fill out there, but don't forget the deadline is 5th of December. So you have to fill it before that.
Okay, I see one question that I've seen a small RC passage in a Snap official mock. Does that mean that RC also come in Snap? Yes, sometimes small RCs also can come. See, the pattern always changes. It can or it cannot come, but there's nothing to get, like there's nothing to worry about it. You can always like go through the RC, understand the RC, and answer the questions very easily. It is not that difficult. Just be thorough with the pattern which comes in Snap right now. So you can always go. Reading comprehension can and cannot come, but I would say that antonyms, synonyms, and odd one outs, idioms, and jumbled paragraphs, one word substitutions, these are the topics which generally come. So there is nothing that you should worry about if RC can come or cannot come. And I would also like to answer Kiran's questions, who is asking that which mock series is best for Snap. I would say that go check out Cracku's mock series also. They're very helpful. I also, during my preparation, I used Cracku's mock series, and I also did give Snap's official mock test as well in order to understand the pattern. So do check out these Snap mock series.
So Chirag Joshi is asking, what do you think would be a safe score to get into the SIBM SCM HRD initial shortlisting? Um, Chirag, the thing that we would like to tell you here is that the concept of a safe score is very unsafe when it comes to Snap, because the scores and the percentiles, they fluctuate each year. It all depends on the difficulty level of each attempt, each of the three different days that Snap is held. It depends on that. It depends on how difficult or tricky or easy your competitors found it. So considering all these factors, if you walk into the examination hall with a safe score in mind, more often than not, that strategy backfires, because suppose the paper is easy and then you had a safe score of say 40. Now you think you're getting a safe score of 40, so all is well and good. But then it so turns out that as the paper was easy, the cutoffs went up significantly. So our advice to you would be to not worry about safe scores. Try to maximize your score in each attempt. Not just for Snap, this applies to all exams, even the mocks that you're giving for Snap, even the mocks that you're giving for CAT. For if we extend the example to even CAT, the same principle holds. You have to maximize your score no matter what paper you're giving. That should be your mindset. So once you start working with that mindset, you'll start seeing that your scores go up, and they go up pretty quick. So that's our advice to you.
Okay, so I see Ashish's question, like which section did you start with and why? So Ashish, I would like to tell you that I tried different series, like different. First, initially, my mindset was that I want to get done with quantitative first, because I used to think like quants is something that I'm weak at. I'll just skim through all the questions, do whatever I can, and then I'll go to the my strongest parts, which were like first general English and then end with analytical and logical reasoning. But however, later when I didn't score good in my mocks, I decided to flip it over. So I decided I would go in first with verbal ability, where in general English, actually my main goal was to finish the entire section in 5 minutes. So I'm done with 15 questions in 5 minutes, and I'm left with 55 minutes for the rest 45 questions. Then I would go with analytical and logical reasoning. It was one of my strongest suits, and I really wanted to leverage it. And through like a lot of practice, I had like mastered analytical and logical reasoning, and I used to score like almost all the questions that I attempted were correct, even though I had to leave a few questions because they were very time consuming. And at the last I would go with quantity quants. This was a section that I wasn't very comfortable with. I could attend mostly like 10 to 12 questions, out of which I would get 8 or 10 correct mostly. So I would advise you is just figure out what's your sweet spot, like what's your strategy, how much time do you want to dedicate to each section, and then with enough practice, I'm sure you'll be able to figure out what works out best for you and helps you achieve the highest attainable score.
So Vanchika wants to know that which college we all applied to. So personally speaking, Vanchika, for me, SIBM Pune was a pretty clear choice. So I applied for SIBM Pune only. But I would suggest to keep maximize your chances and apply for SIBM Pune, SMHRD if you want. But for me, SIBM Pune was a very clear choice. And since I remember that you were the one who took a last minute decision of attempting SNAP, I would suggest you coming to Coffee with SIBMs, which we are hosting. You will get a lot of your doubts cleared. You want to know about coachings and what last minute strategies you should adapt and actionable tips for you to, elevate your performance and approach the exam confidently. So for you, I would definitely recommend attending Coffee with SIBM and staying tuned to our social media handles, where we'll soon be revealing the 12 cities which we're coming to. So yeah, looking forward to see you there.
And I would urge you guys to register now as soon as possible. We know that there are a lot of questions that people are not comfortable asking, on in whenever you're in a classroom or in a group setting. You can use this opportunity to connect with us one on one, hear our stories, learn from like what we did to convert SIBM Pune. And I think this would be a really good session for you guys to attend. You should not miss it. Register now. You can find the registration link in the description, and please do follow our social media channels to stay updated, to stay tuned. And we'll be releasing the list of the cities as well as the dates of the session very soon on our Instagram page. So stay tuned and stay connected.
And for the questions, unfortunately, we couldn't answer all of them. We have a paucity of time now. But for those questions which we couldn't answer, and for any other general queries and doubts that you have, again, we would really request you all to follow us on all these socials. And so there's our Instagram, there's our LinkedIn, there's our YouTube. The links are provided. And there is also, of course, Coffee with SIBM, which will be happening very soon, and for which the registration link is in the chat. And if you do want the registration link to Coffee with SIBM, please visit our Instagram bio. The link is in our Instagram bio. And for any other doubts, please feel free to reach out to the admissions team. Our email and our phones are in public domain. You're free to contact us as and when you like. And yeah, so thank you so much for joining us today evening. It was a lovely chat that we had with all of you. And yeah, so thank you so much, all of you. We were expect we had a lot of great questions. It was actually a lot of fun for us to answer some of your questions. And yeah,
Thank you so much, guys, for taking time out and coming to this session. It was really good seeing you all here, and we also expect this kind of engagement in Coffee with SIBM soon, which will be happening. The dates will also get released soon. So we genuinely hope that you guys will come and we will get to interact with a lot of you. I still remember a lot of names, and I hope that I will be seeing these names there also. But just a last piece of advice would be that do not stop giving mocks. Just believe in yourself, and I'm pretty sure that we will be seeing many of you on the other side. Thank you so much.